Namaste YouTube, welcome to Inoma. We are going to give our reaction to One Little Victory by Rush.
Let's get started with our first time single take honest reaction. It is a Patreon request.
Yeah.
And we are
This
glad to
comes
fulfill
to,
it.
I don't know what number of Rush reactions that we have already done, 45 or plus. And it's been an amazing journey. It is a victory for us too. I mean, the title of the song, One Little Victory, just made me feel that this is kind of a little victory for us too, to have done like 45 reactions for one band.
Let's hear the song and see if that is what the song is about.
I hope so.
Wow.
Starts with a bang.
Drums. Different drums than what Neil Peart normally uses. Pretty heavy, rock and roll. I like the start.
The dialogue is really good this time. Wow.
Oh, this reminds me of the Beatles and the Birds. This was so nice, so refreshing from Rush.
Yeah.
Great song.
I loved the voice
Great music.
of Geddy Lee.
Wow. What can you say about it? This was just so smooth. Reminded me a bit of the Beatles, bit of Metallica. I mean, this had everything in it, in one song. And what a powerful message. One little victory. It says it all. That one little victory can make a monumental difference in your life.
The greatest act of one little victory.
Yeah, one little victory can change the entire scenery in your life. One little victory. That little victory could be a sports game. It could be an achievement at work. It could be an award that you win. It could be accomplishing something you thought was impossible or difficult.
From the lyrics, I got another idea.
What is it?
What I can see and understand, a certain measure of innocence willing to appear naive, a certain degree of imagination willing to make believe. I think these one little victories are hidden in those small sacrifices that we can make.
Possibly.
That's what I'm looking at from the lyrics, only and only from the lyrics. This is from the album Vapor Trails.
Vapor Trails, yes. It was a comeback album after a long
That
break.
was in 2003.
Yeah.
I guess.
One of those years.
Okay. So I love the voice of Geddy Lee. He is really, I mean, he may have been old by then, not young and youth times, but this voice was amazing. This was sweeter, this was melodious, this was way more well tuned. I loved it the way he was singing. Yeah. And
he kind of reminded me a lot of Paul McCartney. Of course, Sir Paul McCartney from the days of the Beatles, of course. So he reminded me a lot about Paul McCartney in this one. Because Paul McCartney also played the bass guitar and also sung many times for the Beatles, along with John Lennon, of course. So it reminded me a lot of this. And great song. And yeah, I think you can give your own spin on it now.
Yeah, from the words of the song that I understood, One Little Victory was not about winning a small thing, but I thought that sometimes when we tend to lose in a small way to make a bigger difference and we win in a different way. Every loss is not a loss in the real sense. Sometimes certain losses make you win, give you the satisfaction, give you the happiness of losing. And I think this one little victory of that one greatest act, that's what I felt. Every time being right is not, at the end is right and doesn't make you the right person. Every time being right doesn't make you the right person. Sometimes you can stand to lose, you can stand to be wrong if that makes the entire episode.
That is much deeper than the lyrics that I heard. Wow,
Yeah.
that is profound that we get those interpretations out of
That's
these
what I
lyrics.
felt, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a certain amount of resistance to the forces of the light and love, certain measure of tolerance, a willingness to rise above, one little victory. Celebrate the moment as it turns into
One more, another.
chance at victory, another chance to score. Very nice lyrics again, great music in this one. I really like the music of this one, and much more heavier than the usual Rush songs, but very clear, very nice drumming. It seemed at the beginning that like a totally different sounding drum set was used by Neil Peart for this one. And great sounding guitaring, bass guitaring and everything was really good. As you mentioned correctly, Geddy Lee's voice was refreshing in this one, really refreshing.
And who was in the background?
Yeah, someone else, possibly Alex Lifeson.
Alex, yeah.
Probably Alex Lifeson. Yeah, because it's much easier for the guitarist to do the backup singing work.
Yeah.
And wow, it was nice. It was really cool, really refreshing. And for me, it reminded me a lot of the baseball movie starring Brad Pitt. You know, and the other guy, the guy who's there in many movies actually, slightly chubby guy, comes in many movies. Baseball, I don't think you watched it, but I have watched it a couple of times. It used to come late nights for some reason after 1 a.m. And I happened to watch it 2 nights when I was awake. after a counseling session. I happened to see that this was coming on cable. So I sat and watched it. I don't remember the name, but I'm sure someone will know that.
Okay.
Or either ways, the movie was about baseball and about the manager of a baseball team. And it's actually a true story. It is based on a true story of a baseball team, a professional baseball team. And I love the movie because it reminded me of this song. I mean, now I love it even more. And I want to watch it after this, if I can get my hands on the DVD, or if I can see if it comes again sometime. But it's about, the little contributions that go into the final win. So there was this guy, a statistical whiz, a maths whiz, economics whiz. So he was hired by this guy, the manager of the team, who was Brad Pitt, a young dashing manager of a baseball team. And he hired this chubby guy, very popular actor. I'm not getting his name now for some reason.
The one who was there in the Wolf of
Wolf of Wall Street.
He's very common. Yeah.
So Hill, I think some Hill his name is.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jonas Hill.
I think Jonas is his name.
So both of them. So he hires Jonas, if that's his name. Let's assume it's his name. He hires the character of Jonas to be his statistical whiz and keep track of the accounting and things like that of the team, and make calculations based on the events that happen during practice sessions and the actual games. So this guy came up with a formula, the chubby guy Jonas, his character came up with a formula for Brad Pitt, the manager of the team. He said that if we hire, and they had a very tight budget, that year, very, very tight budget, because they were not a championship team. So they had a very tight budget, and most probably they would be off the professional league the next season, or his job was in jeopardy anyways as the manager, Brad Pitt. So he had 1 year to make a change in the results in the team and things like that. So this guy came up with a unique formula. He said that if we take all these people who are average, all average, not a single champ, we take everyone who's average, an average pitcher, an average hitter, everyone on the team is an average player at what they do. And since they are all average, no one is above average, we can get them all for a very low price.
Yeah.
So that is what they did. And he said if we go by their statistics for the last whatever years they were playing, each of them he calculated very precisely. If we go by all their statistics, if we put all these average players together, at the end of the season, we will probably win the title.
Wow.
So this guy trusted him, the manager trusted him, and they went forward with this formula, and they actually started winning and winning and again. So this formula actually worked. By just making the small changes, they had this one little victory after another, one little victory after another, one little victory.
Yes.
Definitely there were obstacles along the way. But that movie came to mind straight up. What a great movie that was. In fact, there's a book also written on this. In fact, it is based on a book.
Okay.
I think it is based on the life of that manager. So it's based on the true story, the movie and the book, both. So this one little victory is all about that for me. It's all about, taking those tiny steps, taking that little risk. I mean, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And it's a big risk at times to take that first step. But once you've taken that step, once you've had the courage to move forward, even a little bit, even an inch, it makes a gigantic difference in your life.
Right.
So that is what this song was for me. That is how I interpreted it. I love the music, I love the lyrics, I love the vocals. Everything about it was refreshing, it was clean, it was crisp, it was clear. For me, it was just a really, really good song. It's something that will inspire me, that even a little progress each day can add up to big results. So it really reminded me about the Kyoto Bamboo Principle that we created years ago. Really reminded me about that even one tiny little step taken consistently can add up to big results at the end of the day. One single game won can change your life around. One single moment won could be a victory forever. So it's all about those little victories, those little successes. And that is why it's really, really important to celebrate every little success along the journey of life. During the journey of life, rather. Your final take, Kirti, or whatever you want to say.
Love the music. I still can't forget the you know, the chorus or the sound in the background when he was saying one little victory, that sounded too good. It was just too good. I wonder who did it. I'm sure some of you may know, the fans of Rush, because you all know so much about Rush and the way they do things and the trivia. So I hope you all will enlighten me on that, because this was a very, very different song. It was cohesive, it was great, it was all three of the members playing at their best.
Yeah.
It shows that they had a break and the break was effective on them.
Yeah, it could be connected to their own lives also at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It could be about their break and Neil Peart overcoming his personal losses, the tragedies he faced of losing his wife and daughter, and moving
back,
on with the life, getting back and regrouping and restarting and coming out with an album, coming out with a book, and going on tour once again. So it was a small little victory, but at the end of the day, it was a massive, massive success. So if it is connected to the life of Rush, again, it is prolific writing, prolific work by the three musicians, three artists, and great song. So that's about it for Menoma. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. Dhanyawad.